So that was very strange. The smartphone started recording a video on its own, which is a bit worrying. I do sometimes have ghostly goings on in this house, in Teddington Road, Southsea. So this is part 2 of my sort of explanation of what I was doing, what the inspiration at the time, what was the inspiration for Caryatid Hearts poetry collection. So I'm just going to go through basically the list of news stories or songs, photos, the things that I used as my inspiration. If you are interested in knowing which poems relate to which women, then I will, if you have one in particular in mind, then ask me in the comments and I will do my best to figure out which poems were about which women, or which one, and some of them I have recorded, but I've written down, but others I haven't, and I've sort of forgotten. But I'm not going to say at this stage anyway, because you might find it interesting to try to figure out which which woman the poem is about, each poem is about. So Ludovico Einaudi was a song I played quite a lot. It was a composer whose music I played quite a lot. And there's a song, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct, but it looks like I Giorni. And I'm just going to play this so you can hear a little bit of it. Just so you know what I'm
Here's a way to get a professional business number on your webpage.
Sorry about this. Adverts on YouTube. So you should be able to hear that in the background. Really nice piece of music. And another person who whose music I used as inspiration was Anna Silvera, and I'm going to just play one of hers now. I hope she doesn't mind this, but I am saying nice things about her, so fingers crossed. So Anna is an amazing musician, pianist, composer, songwriter, singer. That's her singing as well as playing. And I've seen her a couple of times live, once in Cambridge, once in London. And my mate Phil introduced me to her because he put on her first gigs in Cambridge as a promoter, because he just found her on the internet, her music, and thought she was fantastic. And, she's now sold many albums, written and recorded many albums, and I think she lives in Sweden. Anyway, Phil introduced me, we met and shared a few words, but I really like this song. I think she knows that if she remembers that Phil always says I call it the Salami song, because it's called Salome, which appears on the album The Avery. And I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. So that's my favourite song of hers. And so it's about the Bible story, Salome asking Herod for the head of John the Baptist because he wouldn't look at her while she was dancing. Just a great song, really. So there you go. You've got one name. Anna Silvera is one of the poems. One of the poems is about Anna Silvera. But I also used her music, as I said, for inspiration for others. So where are we? 5 minutes already. This could end up being 3 parts. Craig Armstrong, Balcony Scene. This it's not available anymore. But I think that is a piece of music which is from Romeo and Juliet, probably the one with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. I think that was a piece of music in a scene that I sort of found quite inspirational, which I used. Have to give a mention to Bob Spiel and his website, which has a section on Caryatids and Atlantes, which is the male version of a caryatid, I think. So he is at www.spiel.me.uk. That's SPEEL. And Chiara Vigo, which is who is a woman who I think it looks like she lives in Sardinia, and she is, or was at the time, the last woman who makes sea silk, which is fascinating. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but you can look up the story online. I got this from BBC News, bbc.co.uk. Silk is usually made from the cocoons spun by silkworms, but there is another much rarer cloth known as sea silk, or byssus, which comes from a clam. And this lady, Chiara Vigo, is thought to be the only person left in the world who can harvest it, spin it, and make it shine like gold. Extraordinary story. Absolutely amazing. And very inspirational. So there's another name for you. Chiara Vigo is one of the muses for the poem. So one of the poems is about her. There's another one, actually. I'm giving you a few names already, aren't I? Lola Webber is another one. So she has a website which is freekoreandogs.org. So she goes to Korea, I think, and buys dogs from the meat markets that they're intending to kill for meat, and brings them back to the West and houses them. Just superb what she's doing. It's just amazing. So she was another of the poems. Who else have we got here? This was another one here, which is a lady called Noura Ammar, which is Nourammar, if you want to find the story. And this was about Syrian migrants, and she was a Syrian migrant who was seeking asylum in Sweden. It's just a really interesting story, and I think some of what they go through as migrants is quite inspirational. Very interesting. Tough lives, difficult stories. Sarah Seeger, who I believe works for NASA, but there was a TED talk by her, and she is pioneering, or was at the time pioneering, the search for exoplanets. So that is planets outside of our solar system. And her research led to the first discovery of an atmosphere on a planet outside our solar system. And she's really sort of leading the charge on finding a twin Earth somewhere else, which could be viable for human life. So to me, space is very interesting, cosmology. So I think that's very inspirational. There was another news story about a woman who won the right in court to end her life by euthanasia. So this is 10 years ago. We're at 2025 now, so, and I'm a member of the campaign for the Dignity in Dying campaign, which means that people can end their lives if they, if they're terminally ill and they're going to be in a lot of pain, or they want a dignified choice about when they die, which is becoming law in various locations, countries. Has recently become law in one of the Channel Islands. So this the news story headline was suicidal woman wins right to end her life by euthanasia despite being physically healthy. And this is from 28th of June 2015 on the Mirror, in the Mirror newspaper website, mirror.co.uk. So this was another story which inspired me to write a poem. There's a poem in there about that. And I've got to be brief now because we're running out of time. 15-minute limit for videos on YouTube. I think there was just some other music. Eric Clapton and Carlos Santana playing Little Wing. So Little Wing I liked to use as inspiration. My favourite song, my favourite Hendrix song. Franz Schubert, Ave Maria for violin is another song that I listen to. I've got an article here which is no longer on the web. Jenna Coleman quits Doctor Who after landing major new role. So I must have focused a poem on Jenna Coleman, I guess, or found that story inspiring in some way. A couple of models, Lily Donaldson and Carly Kloss. Obviously beautiful, but something inspiring about their vibrance, their joie de vivre, their kind of spirit. There's another article here which is no longer on the web, which is Fox News ramp up the nativism by ordering British actress leave Hollywood. And it just says the story is unavailable, so I don't know who that was about, but that may be one of the other, probably is one of the other poems. Where else are we going with this? Cameron Diaz is in there as well. Very, very talented in lots of different ways, and certainly attractive. And there was an old ski instructor of mine in there as well. I've just found a couple of photos of her. So that was another inspiration. So there you go. That's everything, I think, that I've got on record about this. Looks like I was also using Myers-Briggs MBTI personality theory as well. A bit to try to ascertain personality type from videos or photos.